So, I was telling you about it was after the Second World War. The entire world was divided in Eastern Bloc and Western Bloc. Eastern was dominated by the communist or the socialist, and Western by the capitalists. Capitalists, they were led by the USA, UK, France, and so on. Firstly, one Marshall Plan was introduced in the early 50s. Marshall Plan was to reconstruct the economy of the European nations. सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्ट अगर पड़ा किसी को after the Second World War, that was the European countries. So Marshall Plan was introduced, और उन्होंने to reconstruct the economy of these countries किया. उसके बाद 1957 with the efforts of Britain, EEC, European Economic Community was formed. But on the other side, the clash between the two groups, Eastern and Western, it continued. And that clash gave the shape to the Cold War. इसी दौरान, in 1967, some of the Asian countries formed one economic bloc, that is the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. EEC was the first economic bloc after the Second World War. And ASEAN was another very important bloc in the 60s in Asia, economic bloc. Earlier, there were some blocs, but those blocs were the militarist blocs. They were basically on the defense sector. For example, NATO, Warsaw Pact, S.C.O, CENTO, all in 50s. These were the signs of the Cold War. In 70s, mid of the 70s, 1975, a group of 6 countries, they got united and decided to form one group which will demarcate the entire world into developed and underdeveloped. These 6 countries, they were termed as the developed countries by the World Bank. The initiation was taken by America. Its members were USA, UK, France, Italy, and Japan, the only Asian country, and the 6th one was Germany, West Germany. Briefly, I'll let you know that Germany, it was after the Second World War divided into East Germany and West Germany. Berlin was also divided. Berlin Wall was created. East Germany was having a support or influence of the socialist bloc or communist bloc or USSR or the Eastern group or the Eastern world, whereas this other group, that is West Germany, it falls under the capitalists, and that was made the member in the G6. Finally, it was in 1976, 7th country, Canada was also included. It was in 1981, EU or EEC, which we call, that was devised to strengthen this group more and more, so that the European countries should not align with the should not align with the Eastern Bloc or the USSR. After the fall of the USSR, 90s, early 90s, the entire scenario was changed. Cold War came to an end, and the world became a unipolar world. And in 1998, Russia, when it was under the command of Vladimir Putin, it was included as an eighth member. And G8 countries, they are termed as the largest economies of the world. Earlier, it was a trade, it was economy only was their main motto, main discussion. But later on, the national security, the security, both internal as well as external, and drug menace, and finally the terrorism was also used to be discussed in their meetings. China was invited many times to be the member of this one, but China refused to accept this one due to their personal capacity. It was in 2012, Russia forcibly annexed Ossetia from Georgia. And in 2014, Russia forcibly annexed Crimea from Ukraine. And after that was decided that Russia should be expelled from the G8 group. And once again it termed as the G7. Right from 2018 onwards, since the arrival of Mr. Trump, he is again insisting that Russia should be included as once again the member in the group 7. Now the question arises, why USA is interested for Russia? No doubt, Russia is a staunch enemy during the Cold War. Even then, why Mr. Trump is insisting for the inclusion of Russia, Mr. Putin, in this group of developed countries? That we'll discuss in our later discussion. ये मैंने आपको ब्रीफ में बता दिया.